Hey everybody, welcome to the patch 12.8 review. For this one, it seems Riot is reverting a lot of things they've done in the previous patches. And I kind of noticed that as I was reading through it, that a lot of these just are reverts. Not all of them, but I'd say somewhere from half to a third. I haven't exactly counted. So for this video, once again, we're going to be old school. I'm not going to have music, we're just going to do one take. I have actually looked into this, and I've looked into a lot of these things. So if you want to learn everything about the upcoming patch and learn everything that's happening, make sure to watch this video all the way through. So what is happening in patch 12.8? We're nerfing some and we're buffing a lot. And a lot of these buffs are just reverts or kind of just weird stuff, actually. So first up, we have Swain. Swain's not actually a revert. Basically, they're trying to push Swain into the solo lanes while also keeping him in support. The gist of these change, the biggest thing that they're doing with Swain is that Swain will now, he can't pull off allies, and now he can only pull off his own never move, his own E. That's kind of the gist of it. You can look through here and you can get the majority of them, but they're trying to make him a little bit more dependable on himself and less dependable on allies. Is that the right way to put it? Less dependent. There we go. Less dependent on allies and more dependent on himself. And there's some other changes. I have a video going over it. If I went over all of it here, it would take a little bit too long. They got some stuff with his ult. I mean, you can just see here through all these patch notes. There's a lot going on with this ult, a lot going on with everything. Basically, his mana costs are down. A lot of his things, rework. Bard. Okay, so this Bard one is not a total revert, but I was looking at it. And the base damage on his passive is going up, and the chimes, like the damage per chimes, is also going up. Now, I was actually looking at this. The damage per chimes used to be 15. They're buffing it to 14. Right now, it's 12. So the damage per chimes is going up a little bit. The base damage used to be 40. I could probably find this here if I look hard enough. The base damage used to be 40. There we go. Now it's going to be 35. So a lot of the damage from his passive is coming back, but not all of it. In addition, the heal on his Caretaker's Shrine is going up. Right now, it's 55 to 215. They're buffing it at 60 to 240. So as compared to where the Caretaker's Shrine used to be, it's going to heal more in the late game as compared to where it is right now. It's just healing a tiny bit more at rank 1. It's not really the biggest change, but Bard has been struggling a little bit because you can see as I was scrolling through here, they have been nerfing him a lot. Base health reduced, heal reduced, movement speed reduced, cooldown increased, movement speed, damage, movement speed, damage, health. Yeah, okay. So Bard's gotten a lot of nerfs, and they're toning down how much they've nerfed him. Ezreal, I don't know why they're buffing Ezreal. This is stupid. This is absolutely stupid. They're reducing the cooldown in his later ultimate. Now remember, every time he hits with a Q, that reduces the cooldown of his ultimate by 1.5. So particularly into the later game, this is going to be extraordinarily impactful. Yeah, I truly do not believe that Ezreal needs to be buffed at all. I don't know why they're buffing Ezreal at all. Beats me, chat, beats me. Fiddlesticks. Okay, I swear that Fiddlesticks used to heal more than 30 to 50%. But I went and I looked through and he did not ever heal more than 30 to 50%. So they are buffing him to 30 to 70% healing. But it's still 15% against minions and a damage penalty against minions. He's not going to be able to heal against minions like he used to. So he's going to heal more against champions, so now remember, he has gotten some nerfs in the last seasons, blah blah blah. Basically, Fiddlesticks is getting his healing buffed more than it ever has been since the rework, which is neat because I swear I used to heal more before they nerfed him or something, but I guess he didn't. And I think he's just never really ever healed that much since the rework. They tried to tone that down considerably during the rework, how much he heals, and I think they just went too ham with it. And healing kind of stopped being one of his identities, which was weird because I always thought that healing was kind of important to Fiddlesticks, but I guess not. Jhin, I do not know why they are buffing Jhin. I do not know. Do not ask me. It does not make sense to me. He's getting his root duration buffed by 0.25. So instead of 1 to 2, it's 1.25 to 2.25. That's a 2.25 second root on an AD carry. I thought even being 2 seconds was long. Now we're up to 2.25. So he no longer gets a damage reduction against monsters on his Deadly Flourish, and he no longer gets a damage reduction against monsters on his Trap, and his traps will come back considerably faster. Right now it's 28 to 16, it's going to be 24 to 14. So the rank 1 will come back a good chunk faster, and the rank 5 is even going to come back faster. So that's unneeded. I don't think Jhin has been bad. I don't think anyone has thought Jhin has been bad, and I don't know where this buff is coming from. So far, I mean, I like the Swain rework. I like the Bard buffs, because they did go a little bit ham with them. Ezreal is stupid. Fiddles is fine. Jin's really dumb. Now, Jinx, they are basically reverting a buff they did to Jinx. And that's the theme of this patch, them just reverting stuff. She got buffed from 550 to 610 HP. They're bringing her back to 560. So she's going to have 10 more HP than she used to have, but she's no longer going to be tanky at level 1, which I believe a lot of people have complained that she had 610 HP at level 1, which definitely enabled her to, you know, kind of force all-ins. Xayah is getting her AP thing obliterated, which I think is fine. Void Seeker's AP ratio is going from 0.7 to 0.45. The AP ratio on the missing health nuke from completing her passive, so not from stacking up her passive, no, from completing her passive, the AP ratio is doubled. So poking people, that doesn't get buffed. Completing it and damaging them based on their missing health, that does get buffed. In addition, poking with Void Seeker gets hard nerfed. Basically, nobody liked Xayah, and she was poking a lot, and it was really frustrating, and it wasn't particularly overpowered, which is why they're compensating her. It wasn't overpowered, it was just really frustrating for everyone. So you might notice a theme here also is I don't really hate this patch. I don't hate it. In fact, it's probably one of the better patches they've had in a while, which is actually why I've kind of struggled thinking of how I'm going to go with this video, because I don't hate this patch. I don't exactly, I'm not in love with it, but it does have a reworked Olaf I like, a reworked Swain I like. Some of these buffs are good. I mean, it has some real stinkers though, like this stupid Jhin buff, this stupid Ezreal buff. Neither of them are underpowered by any stretch of the imagination. Neither one of them is possibly underpowered. But this Xayah thing is good too. In addition, the AP ratio on her ultimate is going up. Basically, AP Xayah is getting some buffs to try to maybe keep it viable, while also making sure that she's just not Void Seeker, Void Seeker, Void Seeker, chunking everybody down really annoying like. Okay, so Kassadin is getting his Magic Shield on his Q buffed, and the AP ratio on his E buffed. I don't understand why they keep buffing Kassadin's late game. But okay, so with Kassadin, let me bring this dude up. They did nerf his shield. It was 60 to 160. They nerfed it 40 to 160. They are now bringing that up to 60 to 180. So you do need to consider... Oh, they're also buffing the AP ratio. I didn't even notice that. The AP ratio is also going up. So that's good. What you should remember, though, remember that Kassadin lost magic damage reduction from his passive, went from 15% to 10%. So he takes more magic damage, but he'll have more magic shield. I'm assuming the idea here is they're trying to push Kassadin to be more of an anti-mage again and scale harder again, which has always been why he's overpowered, because he gets used as a counter pick that scales really, really well. This is a really bad idea. I don't... It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. But, okay. Nothing more to say. Mordekaiser! Okay, so Mord is getting the movement speed reverted on his passive. It used to be 3 to 9%. It was nerfed to 3% flat. Now it's back to 3 to 9%. So, that's it. Mord gets his movement speed back. He doesn't get the duration on his passive back, but he does get the movement speed back. 100% this makes him viable at the low ranks. As for the high ranks, likely not. But who's to say? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, he's going to be able to move more. He'll be able to chase better. If he gets his passive up, he'll be able to run. I mean, it's only a 6% movement speed buff at level 11, so it's not crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. Poppy. Okay, so Poppy is getting the cooldown on her W reduced. Instead of 24 to 16, it's going to be 20 to 12. Now, that 12 comes down pretty hard. I was looking at Poppy's patch history, and I swore something like this, but no. The only change your W has ever received is when they nerfed it a while ago. They nerfed her W pretty hard. They nerfed the movement speed, they nerfed the armor, they nerfed her base movement speed, they nerfed all of that. So yeah, that's the last time they ever changed Poppy's W. So the cooldown is coming down rather considerably, which gives Poppy... This gives her more power, particularly into champions that want to actually gap close more. Because remember, if you gap close within her W, or steadfast presence, you get knocked up and then you get grounded and slowed. So this probably pushes Poppy. I think they're trying to not nerf Riven, but instead buff Poppy, which is great for Riot. I mean, they literally cannot. There's like a mental block. It's like they've been fucking hypnotized by a goddamn magician or some shit. That's the only thing I can possibly think of at this point. But okay. And then, okay, so her ultimate, this is bad, actually. And let me explain why. Okay, I actually should have centered on this, but let me okay, it was her ultimate used to knock up. When you uncharged it, it used to knock up for 1.0 seconds. They nerfed it to 0.75 seconds because being able to like tap your ult, knock them up into a Q, and then the Q would blow up before they could possibly move. I can't find it. I'm not going to waste my time on it. Being able to do that was really overpowered. So they're reverting that nerf, which is bad. And then they're buffing the missile speed and the knockback distance on her ultimate. If you do charge it up, these are bad. I kind of like can get behind buffing steadfast presence. I can kind of get behind that. The later 12-second cooldown does seem a bit sketchy-wetchy, but I do not believe bringing back her super toxic 1-second knock-up snap ult is a good idea. It was very common that Poppy... What you would do with Poppy is once you got that rank 5 Q, you would Q some... You would E them into the wall, Q them. You would wait a split second, then you would ult them, Q them again, and they would just kind of die from full HP. And it was actually really bad and unhealthy for the game, and it made Poppy pretty brainless. So they've never really nerfed her damage or anything like that. She's not exactly a bad champion right now. I highly suspect the combination of these two changes are going to make her overpowered. Maybe I'm crazy, I don't know, but I definitely suspect that she's going to be overpowered. Yeah. Sejuani, this isn't a revert. Basically, her passive is a 12-second flat cooldown, so when you break her passive, she needs to wait 12 seconds of non-champion damage to get her passive back. That's being changed to 12 to 6 seconds, which, at level 18, that's a thing, I guess. I mean, it's not really the most relevant, because particularly in the late game, I mean, I guess it helps her against poke. If she's fighting like a Xayah or a Nidalee, she can get it back. So I guess from that perspective, it's good. But for an all-in tank, I mean, it's not like you can all-in, then back off, wait 6 seconds, and all-in again? Right? Okay. I mean, it's a buff. Let me actually read here. Sejuani's strength is supposed to be in a ruthless engage capabilities, but it fears some entrances are too often supported by individual poke or short fight later in the game. Okay, so I guess what they're going for is they're trying to make sure that she can't like get her passive poked off, then just be unable to engage for 12 seconds, which just is not going to happen late game. Yeah, no, actually, I agree with that. That's probably a good change. This is a good change. Don't at me, okay? This is one of the first patches they've had that actually isn't terrible. So, look, it's all Riot can do to not make more terrible decisions like this Poppy ult change. This is good, probably. I like it. Which sounds weird to say. Soraka! Okay, now Soraka's getting her heal nerfed because she's been overpowered ever since her ult change. Basically, they chain buff Soraka's W. Oh, this is actually a revert. Okay, I could go look this up. This is definitely a revert. I remember this in the patch notes. Yeah, her her W heal got buffed and the AP ratio got buffed when they buffed Ignite. Because when you buff anti-healing, you then need to buff healing because it's just stupid and they should never have buffed anti-healing. But anyway, they buffed her healing because they buffed anti-healing, and then if she's ever, like basically right now, if she ever gets to heal someone without being healing debuffed, she kind of just heals them to full. So it's very common for Soraka players to ult into a W and somebody's health bar. I mean, I'm sure if you experience this, they would just go like, whoop, whoop. That's some woo. That's my sound effect for them going to full whoop. And so, yeah, they're nerfing the base a little bit at the later ranks, and then they're nerfing the AP ratio. Sylas, I'm pretty sure this is a partial revert as well. I haven't actually gotten. I didn't look through every single champion. Okay, maybe I should have. Maybe I should have actually done that to prove it to you guys. But Sylas' ultimate, I'm gonna do this because I am 100% his ultimate used to be this cooldown. So shut up. I'm gonna look this up because okay, give me one. Okay, these are all bug fixes with hijack. Holy shit! How many times? Okay. So no. Okay, no, not there. I swear they did. Don't at me. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. How many bug fixes does hijack get? Okay, the cooldown used to be 85 to 15. Now it's going to be 80 to 30. Okay, so the later ultimate is still going to be double what it used to have, but the rank 1 cooldown is going to back what it used to be. So this is a partial revert. Yes, I was not crazy. This is a partial revert back to where it used to be. And I'm not crazy for this one either. Okay, I'm not crazy. I remember this stuff. Okay, this is like, in my life, this is the only stuff I can ever remember. So don't at me, okay? Tristana, they're buffing her attack damage growth, and that's it. They're giving her more damage at level 18. That's because her early game got chain buffed until it was really overpowered, and then they kind of just balanced her on her early game, and she's just kind of been that level 2, level 3 all-in champion, and that's all she does. She just level 2 or level 3 all-ins. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, nothing more to say about this one. They're just trying to buff her late game because they had to nerf her early game because her early game's overpowered, but blah, blah, blah. It's not exciting. It's not even a big buff. It's 6 damage. Ooh. Vel'Koz. Okay, Vel'Koz is one of these champions that there's like a few Vel'Koz mains that love playing Vel'Koz, and everyone else just goes, literally who? So they're buffing the AP ratio on his Q to a massive 0.9, and they're buffing the AP ratio on his W to a massive 0.2. Okay, that one's not so massive. I was joking. This gives Vel'Koz a decent chunk more poke later in the game. That's about it. This champion hasn't really been changed or buffed in quite some time. He's okay, honestly. I'm kind of okay with this. I mean, to be completely honest, I actually think Vel'Koz needs to be less squishy. Maybe they should have... I think, honestly, they should have given him, like, 5 more health per level. Maybe something like that. Vel'Koz is one of these champions who, if you touch him, he just immediately plays his death animation. You just, like, poke him, and he just goes, like... Yeah, I don't know. He's too squishy. They're buffing Vladimir. See, the thing is, Riot almost had a patch that wasn't fucking terrible. So what they decided to do is buff one of the worst champions ever put into League of Legends ever. They're buffing Vladimir. They're giving him more base armor to try to force him into top lane. This will make him far less squishy. This will make his healing matter more. This will make him more frustrating for everyone. And nobody wants him and nobody likes him and everyone wants Vladimir to die. Unfortunately, they buffed Ignite. When they buffed Ignite, that means every person on the planet can just all-in Vladimir with Ignite. Because shockingly, a 60% healing debuff is hard to deal with. So in the continuing saga of every champion that heals gets buffed because of Ignite, and I will mention this every time, and you will listen to me mentioning it every time, in the continuing saga of that, Vladimir gets buffed. Xayah. Okay, so here's what happened with Xayah. I need to actually show you guys this one. So what happened with Xayah is they... Can I actually find it? Yeah, I'm going to find it. Just don't... It's here. I had it and then I didn't have it. Okay, so in patch 11.13, really last season? Okay, so last season they buffed her double daggers damage. Then they reduced the cooldown on her double daggers. This was a very poor decision from Riot. Lethality, Xayah used the fact that she now had pretty good poke on a much lower cooldown on good damage. Lethality, Xayah used that and absolutely smashed everyone. They also reduced the cast time on her Q. They also increased the base damage on her ultimate. These are poor decisions, because Riot didn't really understand what they were doing. Lethality Xayah has now since then been a thing, poking people pretty hard, doing hard burst. Yeah. So they have since reverted the damage buff on her Q. They have since reverted the cooldown buff on her Q. And now they're doubling down even farther, and they are nerfing the damage on her blade below where it used to be, and nerfing the cooldown on her Q below where it used to be. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, that's... Shockingly, Lethality Xayah somebody just needed to tell people that it existed, and now it's even worse than it was before they buffed her, just because people actually noticed it existed. Okay, so Xerath, I think they actually buffed Xerath recently, and I'm gonna be dead honest, I thought he was fine. Unfortunately, they're now buffing his E duration from 0.5 to 2 to 0.75 to 2.25. That's long, and that's potentially really imbalancing, and maybe shouldn't be done. I think Xerath actually was fine, and really good Xerath players were doing pretty good with him. But okay. Yeah, okay, sure. Zoe's getting mana costs reduced. That's it. I don't know. Sometimes Riot just like brain farts, and when a champion's not really that good, they'll just reduce their mana costs just to be like, hey guys, Zoe exists. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, I forgot Zoe's really good. But all they really did was reduce her mana costs. So everyone looks at this and they're like, oh yeah, look guys, mana costs. Okay, I guess, I don't know. Okay, so they're actually doing a change here. Okay, Stopwatch will no longer be purchasable if you already own Guardian Angel or Zanya's Hourglass. No more double stopwatching. Riot's killing that. Apparently, going literally invulnerable to damage for potentially up to 6.5 seconds was a bad decision, and Stopwatch should have been removed entirely from the game, because it was an awful idea. Failing removing that and actually being smart as a company, they are just stopping the interaction where you can double Stopwatch or Guardian Angel into Stopwatch. Okay. Mythic content overhaul. There's going to be a better YouTuber who can tell you guys what you want to know. It's not me. I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy who can read this and decipher the matrix for you as to what this all means. I don't know. I'm sorry. I have failed you, chat. I am sorry. Oh, everyone make sure to like and subscribe. Shoot. I forgot to tell you guys to like and leave a comment. My bad. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Okay, so these patch notes actually some funny things. I should make a patch note. Okay, I actually thought about making a video entitled Patch Notes. Sorry, Bug Fixes I have definitely yelled at my team for. And let me tell you exactly that one. I found it. Where is it? It's on Elise. Let me try to find. Where did it? Oh god, there's so many here. There's so many here. Okay, Elise. Okay, fixed a bug where if Elise casted E Repel on herself while an enemy champion was right next to her, she would ascend and immediately descend upon them, despite not having recasted the ability. So if someone was right next to you and you repelled, you just instantly drop. I have definitely yelled at teammates for being stupid. I've definitely yelled at enemies for being stupid and having this bug happen to them. Yeah. Okay, there's some bugs here. Ilawi always gets an assist if she hits her E, even if nobody hits her E, which is kind of weird because it literally did nothing there. Okay, there's some bug fixes there. I think that's basic. Oh, there's actually a big one for Kled. Okay, it was, oh boy, let me try to find it here. Okay, Black Cleaver's passive interactions have been fixed so that you correctly gain only 1 stack of Carve per passive attack, even if you purchase Titanic Hydra first. That is bullshit, Riot. It used to work like that for like 10 goddamn years. Maybe not that long, but you broke it. It got fixed again, and now you're re-breaking it. You are wrong, right? This is how it used to work. So this is a big nerf on Clud for absolutely no reason I can think of other than Riot hates fun, and they personally hate you. As for skins, an amazing Aatrox skin that everybody loves. It's, well, I mean, okay, he's a simp for Kale. He simps Kale in this skin. There's a Senna one. It's not Aatrox. There's another Senna one. Is it Aatrox? Signs point to no. There's a Sejuani one. I'm gonna be dead honest. Dead honest. I said there's a Sejuani one, and my brain immediately went, dude, you mean Leona. That's Leona. Is that Sejuani? It does say Sejuani. But that's Leona. Deadass, that's Leona. I'm not crazy. Sivir. Okay. It's Sivir. Is it Aatrox? No. Gameblank the Betrayer. I'm gonna be dead honest. It actually looks cool. It looks cool. It's fine. Sea Dog Yasuo. Okay. I mean, it's not bad, but is it good? Is it good? I mean, yeah. Seriously, Aatrox skin. Let me turn off my camera for you fine fellows, you cool cats. The Aatrox skin, does it look bad? No, actually, I think it looks pretty good. Some of these chromas, particularly, looking pretty hot. That one looks pretty hot. That one, looks okay. That one looks pretty hot. The base one, I'm gonna be honest, looks pretty hot. Purple, pretty cool. Some of them, not so much. I'm sure you guys might like them though. They're just not for me. As for Senna and her chromas, yeah, I mean, if you like Senna, I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm gonna be honest. I do kind of like her lips in it though. That is surprisingly high def and textured. What the hell? Leona on a boar? And not the Rule 34 kind. Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, honestly, I kind of like that one because of the hair. The kind of super hair. That one actually looks pretty cool. I do kind of like how the hair changes, actually. The base one is just Leona on a boar, but some of these chromas, yeah, I can dig this, actually. The purple one looks badass. I'm not gonna lie. Am I biased to purple? Do I always say that the purple ones are the best? Maybe, but it does look badass. Now I got Sivir. This is not the angle needed to show off this skin. Dwarf Sivir and her new skin. Redhead is basically, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like any of these chromas. That one's okay, but Redhead Sivir is basically the only reason to buy this skin. I'm not biased to Redhead. Shut up, you're biased. Kale, okay, okay, they should have stopped making this skin. There's so much going on. Maybe it looks better in game, but there's just so much going on. It's hard to even tell what I'm looking at anymore. It's like over sculpted. You know what I mean? Like the sword is good, but when you start looking at the skin, I just see a bunch of spikes and shit just jutting out. It doesn't even look like an object. Like my brain is practically not even registering that this is an object. Like what is with this crown? Is that on her head or is that above her? Is that I don't what I didn't hate it, but now I mean it's not bad looking. I mean it probably looks better in game. I think it probably looks bad when you're still, but in game it probably looks better. Gangplank the Betrayer. I mean it's Gangplank. It's not blowing my mind, okay? This is not adding the new theme to Gangplank we all wanted, but yeah, I mean it looks good. I'm not gonna lie, it looks good. If you like Gangplank and you want more Gangplank, here's a Yasuo skin where he's got a helmet and eyes. This will probably be a favorite for Yasuo players because they're all edgelords. I mean, honest, that one does look good though, and the purple one looks good. And that's it. So that's this patch. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for being here. Special thank you to everybody who likes this stream. Special thank you to everybody who is a YouTube member. In addition to that, special thank you to everybody who is currently on my Patreon. As such, I will now be reading all my Patrons, because you know what? I love them. I love people who join and are on my Patreon. So let's go ahead and give this a reading. Thank you. Monica, Vape Lord Volnir, Emiru, Blazin Rock, Christoph Marks, Crash Pino, Fire Digger, Guardian Lamart, Horus the Burb God, Josiah Davila, Kokirli, Malice, Mao Runner, Nathan Mark Tarangoy, Not a Cultivator Xayah, Omar Nunez, Aniroy, Philemon Landry, Sophisticated Fart, Destroy, Used Car Salesman, Cyrillic Letters, Death Note, Amzarine, Benji, British Mapper, Calum Niche, Creador, Daniel Fiala, Daisy Mew, Yadgad, Fel, Fonaku, Full Yuki, Geb the Square, Hentai with Senpai, Hun Arthur, Jamie Varela, Kalphos Zeramar, Neptrol, Naxian Scion, PKZ, Scorpion, Take One, Tomato, Under, Uvo Plaja, WLC League of Legends, Wolfman. Thank you everybody for subscribing to my Patreon. You are all great people. And thank you everybody for liking this stream and leaving comments. Remember, these things help me out a lot. Thank you everybody, and I appreciate it. I appreciate all your time here. I hope you all understand this patch a lot more. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye everybody.